So, I'm Bryce, and this is my fiance, Stasia.
Yep.
And we're going to tell you our engagement story because everybody wants to hear it, and we're tired of talking on the phone. So, we got engaged Wednesday, February 1st or 2nd or 3rd.
Second.
It was pretty sweet. So, it's started out and made sure, asked her boss if she could get off work on time because she's a waitress and sometimes doesn't. And came here and made sure she was here, and we ate dinner and or lunch, and you can take it from here.
And then he just went out to his car and dropped all this snow stuff off on the floor and said, "All right, get suited up because we're going on an adventure."
And she's always cold. Well, she's not bad, but she's cold more than I am. And so I gathered stuff from my roommates, and she had like these big, giant, awesome flannel pants on from my Edwin, my roommate's great uncle Art. So that was pretty sweet. And then also Edwin's mucklucks and my friend Josh's other vest and mittens. So we both looked pretty goofy. I was in a duct tape jacket, and yeah, we looked like woods people.
Then we went out to like a little forest part north of campus called Shumikili Reserve, where we used to hang out a lot when we were getting to know each other. And we went snowshoeing around the little lake there, and we were talking about all our old memories we made around the lake.
And yeah, we snowshoed around it and had a good time reliving that stuff. And then we were getting kind of tired, and I was trying to time it just right with the sunset. And the sunset was about 4:45, so I was like, okay, it's time to get going. And we head to the park, and the sunset was a little later because the sun sets later each day, and I didn't take that into account, so we had to kill a bunch of time and took 10 minutes reliving memories of the park. That's where I asked her out, and was the same place I asked her to marry me, and it's where we went sailing through ice water and all kinds of good stuff. We used to watch sunsets all the time too, so it was like, okay, the one day this month we're going to have a sunset is when we're going to do this because there's a permacloud over Wisconsin in the winter. So take him here.
So we went down to the park, and he parked right exactly where he asked me out. He started playing our favorite slow dance music, not just like stuff we like, but like our favorites that we don't listen to.
Mm-hmm. The best of the best.
And we started dancing, and then he kind of turned to me and did his little speech, and
Yep. And I figured I was trying to block her view from the ice because I had made tracks that said "Marry Me" pretty decently big on the ice and the slush and all that. And so finally I kind of did that towards the ice, and then she looks at it, I was like, oh. And I was like, oh, good, she sees it. So then I did the whole proposal thing, and she had no idea what it said. I found out later, and
so he said, "Stasia, will you marry me?" And I said, "Are you serious?" And I just started crying, and I was
said,
so happy.
Yeah, I'm serious. I want to marry you. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why was she supposed to say yes? And then she reaches for the ring and pulls her hand back, and I was like, that's not good. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Is she even wanting to do this? And then I found out I was supposed to put the ring on her finger and just didn't know it. So I put it on her finger anyway, and then we hugged, and right as we hugged, my roommates were across the river waiting to launch fireworks, so I just sent them a text real quick that said light up the sky, and then they shot off fireworks right after I proposed. And then with a CD I made, right after that was our favorite song, and then was when I proposed, and then right after that was the song, and then He Kissed Me by the Crystals. And then as they were lighting off fireworks, there was fireworks going off, and the sun was setting right behind us, and all this other cool stuff on the water, and the wind was blowing so hard my fingers were numb, and we had our first kiss. That was pretty cool. And then we hung out, took some pictures, tried to watch the sunset, and kind of got a little chillier, and then headed out.
Yeah, so then he's like, you ready for our next stop? And I was like, and he's like, night's still young, sister, we're not done yet.
Yeah, I was trying to convince her that this isn't just a lame proposal, it actually gets better than this.
So then we went to the baseball field where we used to spend a lot of time watching the stars late at night and just talking, laying in the grass. And we took a sleeping bag out there, and we just was telling me about how he had asked my parents' permission last week.
She confronted me on it, more likely, but continue.
That's a lie. And then after it got too cold, he said, well, you ready for some real hot chocolate back at my place? And I said,
because the hot chocolate I brought with was pathetic, and my thermos broke. It was pretty worthless. Second time I used it, and the hot chocolate was lukewarm chocolate, like flavored water, worthless.
So I was like, sure, but I'd like to get my other winter coat first because the snow is melting and I'm wet and getting kind of cold. He's like, I'll just give you something of mine. I was like, what's going on at his place? But anyway, so I was thinking, oh, it's a party. Like, no, my friends are there. Everybody's known about this. Like, everyone's waiting for me. And then we get there, and I see that the grill is going outside his door. We saw people peeking through the blinds to see us, and I was like, okay, like, here it is. And then we get up right up to the door, and his roommate Edwin opens the door, and he's wearing all formal attire and dress shoes and dress clothes and a tie. And so are his other two roommates, JJ and Derek. And right behind them is a candlelit dinner setting. The lights are dim. Louis Armstrong's playing, singing romantic music. He wasn't live. It was music in the background. And
we had to clean up our apartments like hardcore. It was not a place you'd want to go for a romantic
really
place.
good,
And we spent like forever cleaning it, making it, chased out the mouse, made sure it's someplace you'd actually want to live and like would want to visit, and made it look all nice. And then borrowed dishes from everybody, and borrowed and bought and tons of stuff with Walmart, and had a couple roses out there, and the centerpiece.
2 red roses, and the centerpiece was Twizzlers pull and peel in the shape
She's
of a...
addicted to.
There was the shape of a heart, and there was another one around it. And then he just went to the bathroom, and I just made a comment to his roommates, like, wow, you guys are looking so good, and I'm dressed to play in the snow. And Ed's like, don't even worry about it. You know, it's your day. And then on my way to the bathroom, I turned on the light, and there was a dress out of my closet hanging up, and my makeup, and my hairbrush, and my hair gel, and my perfume, and all the stuff I needed to get ready, hair straightener, like everything. Even the boots I wear with that dress, and a new pair of socks. Like, it was all right there waiting for me. And he said, get ready, like, get dressed, or whatever he said. And then I've got a shirt and tie to put on, and we're going to have dinner. So we sat down at the dinner table, and his roommates served us. They kept their voices low, you know, they were very professional.
They made us look sophisticated.
It
was pretty cool.
It was so good. And each item around the dinner was specific to our relationship and very well thought out. We had black olives, because only I like black olives. And we kind of joke about it, because he doesn't like them. And
it's like eating a cold wet
carrot. We just had, for salad, we had a big carrot, because our first dinner together, that was our balanced meal, was a carrot.
Carrot.
And
old reheated spaghetti that she gave me.
Yeah, and he made me an all-fruit smoothie, because I've been really into smoothies lately. And we had sparkling grape juice and champagne, actually, which we actually wound up liking later. And we had his mom's homemade dinner rolls and steak.
Mom's recipe.
That JJ had grilled for us.
And shrimp. Good
and
stuff.
The shrimp that I had tried with him and his brother when his brother came to visit. Mm-hmm. And then...
yeah, and then my roommate served us, and they didn't want to walk out looking... I had to change and go, so they actually climbed out the bedroom window, which is kind of awkward.
And then I saw their shadows go across the blinds. I was like, where are your roommates going? He's like, I wouldn't worry about it. They're just going to give us some alone time. So we were able to eat our meal and just gaze into each other's eyes and take in the moment. Talk about the future.
And then we had a little bit of angel food cake, because that's her favoriteest food ever. And we had a good old time. And
we were able to dance to the slow music. And
yeah.
It's good.
So there you have it.
We're engaged. We're getting married April 23rd. Yep. Hopefully.
You can play this over and over and let your heart melt or something.
Absolutely, because mine did that day.
Right.
Hi, fiance.